Today we're going to be using Model Magic to practice our hand building skills with clay. And we're going to be creating coil pots. Coils are long snakes made out of clay, and they're one of the three major hand building techniques. So before you start with Model Magic, you always want to make sure you have a clean space. So I'm going to use this white piece of paper. I'm not worried about protecting my table because I have a drop cloth on there. I'm actually worried about protecting the clay. Model Magic can get dirty pretty quickly. So you also want to wash your hands before you start, especially if you have one of the lighter colors like yellow or white. So it's usually easier to open the package with scissors. And I'm going to start by pulling off a couple of pieces to save. One is in case I want to make extra details, like I found a piece of a pipe cleaner I used to make a flower for this one. One piece is going to be for the base of my coil pot, and then I have a nice big chunk left over. So to make the base, I'm going to start by rolling the clay into a ball, and I'm just going to press down a little pancake. Leave that there. I'm not going to leave it there. I'm actually going to lift it up because I want to make sure it's not getting stuck on the paper. Okay, so make sure you lift it up as soon as you put it down again and make sure it's not stuck. Then you're going to start creating your coils. So pull off a couple pieces, or pull off a little chunk at a time. Start by rolling it into a hot dog. And then as you roll it on the table, you start with your fingers together and you're pulling outwards. And usually what I also do is I start to spread my fingers apart. So start in the middle, roll it towards the outside, and do your best to make your coil as even as you can all the way apart. Sometimes what'll happen is it'll break in the middle, and that's not a big deal because then you just have two coils. Okay, so I'm going to roll this one out. Notice how I keep spreading my fingers out, trying to make it even. And then I'm just going to start attaching the coils. Just pick a spot on your little base and start going around and around and coiling up the shape of your little vessel. Keep going all the way around. So you see, I'm doing my best to build them straight on top of each other, and then I'm going to go around and just gently sort of make sure that they're all sticking. So now I've got a gap right here. So when I start my next row, that's where I'm going to start. So I'm going to grab this piece now, roll out a coil. I'm going to start where the other one ended and just go up and up and up. Once I get two coils on my pot, I can start to get really creative. So I'm going to show you how I did some of the decorations on this one. And you can use that idea or you can try some of your own ideas. So I'm going to grab another chunk of the clay. Now remember, you don't want to roll the whole thing at once. You need to go with little pieces so that you're able to actually work some designs in there. This time when I do my coils, I'm going to coil them up and down like a little snake instead of going just around my pot. I'm going to go up, down, but I'm not attaching them to the pot yet because it's a lot easier to do this on the table than it is on the pot. So I'm going to get my little zigzag line going. Let's see how far around it goes. It goes a little bit more than half. What I can try, oops, it's sticking already. What I can try to do is I can try to really slowly sort of stretch it out a little bit, and I might be able to go all the way around with just one. Otherwise, I just have to make a second one and add it. No big deal. All right, let's see if this goes all the way around. All right, so you can do coils that go in circles. You can do coils that go in zigzags. You can also use little balls of clay to build up your pot. Okay, so again, it's easier to tell if they're the same size on here than once you start putting them on there. So I'm just going to roll them into balls and go them around and attach them to my little coil pot. Now these, and I gotta say, I kind of like them as the final row. So I could stop my little coil pot right now. I mean, it's teeny, it's not going to hold a whole lot. It could hold a couple paper clips or something like that, or some beads or buttons. That is kind of a cool topping for my pot. What I did with this one is I made some more coils and I went around it because I wanted to build it higher. So that's up to you. But what I do want you to do is I want you to make a coil pot. I want you to add some interesting designs to it. And then I want you to take a picture. When you take a picture, it's important that you take a picture that doesn't have a lot of distracting things in the background. So this piece of paper, instead of taking a picture flat, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to roll this paper up, and I'll show you a different angle. I'm going to lean it against the wall, and I'm going to try to photograph my pot so that I can't see anything but the white paper and the coil pot.